Okay, let me guess. You parented yourself before you even knew what that word meant. And over time, you built your identity around being the strong one, the mature one, the emotionally intelligent one, the one who is mature for her age. That's where you drew your sense of being, your sense of self from those labels. Because those labels felt safe. Those labels were like a blanket from ever being hurt or vulnerable again. Because everyone knows you can take care of yourself. You're tired of being disappointed. So you've learned to self-soothe. You've learned to become super hyper independent. You're now the emotional support friend of your group because you know how to give that to others. And you just do not want to accept that from anyone else because God forbid you put yourself in a position where there's a possibility of someone making you feel disappointed again when they cannot act as a person you need them to be. It's a very complex explanation, but I feel like you know what I'm saying. You understand it because you've been through it. This is your reality. This is your story. You take pride in being the reliable one, the one who's already ready to help, not because it's adding to your ego. No, that's not why it is. You take pride in it because somehow, somewhere, those labels comfort your inner child that never had that never really had anyone that could soothe her in the way she needed. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Maryam, and I know we're in a new background today. I kind of like this background. The only thing that was bothering me about it is that part of the background is not wardrobe, it's just wall and TV. But for now, I like it. I want to know what you guys think because you guys are the ones watching it. I'm obsessed with this stock, but I say that all the time. What I really love is that I'm wearing a pair of Jhumkas today. If this is your first time watching my YouTube video, then you must know that we love doing jewelry checks over here. Okay, do you want to know what's funny? Around your friends, you're the happy one, the bubbly one, the one who's always making jokes. That's who you are around your friends. But when you're at home, it's quite the opposite. You're seen as the angry one, the one who's always stubborn. You're seen as the angry one, the difficult one, the one that's hard to get along with. And have you ever wondered why that is? It's because home, whether you realize it or not, is the place where your inner child remembers everything she had to carry. That's why you snap quicker. That's why it's harder to be patient. And sometimes you think to yourself, I'm not like this around my friends, but I'm like this at home. But why is that? You see, whether you realize it or not, your home environment reminds you and your body what it felt like to be unheard, unsupported, ignored, and over-relied on. Your body remembers. You feel angry not because you're a mean or difficult person, but because you're subconsciously exhausted. You're exhausted. You're exhausted by what that version of you had to survive. It's also why you feel so annoyed when you have to teach your siblings, be it younger or older, the things that you had to figure out by yourself. No one was there to help you, but now you have to help them. You may not realize it, but subconsciously, that's why you feel annoyed. Because no one taught you. You had to figure out everything by yourself. Sometimes in silence, sometimes in chaos, but by yourself nonetheless. You see, when people didn't show up for you in the ways you needed when you were younger, say with helping you with certain things, when the people around you did not show up for you in that way, that builds some kind of resentment. You never want to feel that way again. That's why you become hyper independent. You never want to ask anyone for help. You want to figure out everything by yourself. And now that we've set a bit of context, let's talk about the anger you're feeling. Because that anger you're feeling is not a random emotion. Because anger is rarely ever a primary emotion. It's a secondary emotion in most cases. The primary reasons are mainly sadness, fear, or anxiety. And when not processed correctly, it turns into anger. And if you were constantly around people who never really gave you the space to process these emotions, guess what it's gonna turn into? Anger. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Regardless of everything that's going on in the background, you still are the person everyone goes to in your friend group to ask for advice. You give the best advice. You're always there to emotionally support your friends because you know what it's like to not have that. You know what it's like to not have emotional support. So you never want the people around you that you love and care about to feel that way. In a way, helping others makes you feel like you're helping and saving your inner child that never got those things. You're everyone's comfort person now. You're the one everyone goes to for advice. You're the one sending long voice notes, helping others with their dilemmas, with their problems. You're the one remembering everyone's birthdays. You're the one soothing others because somehow that makes you feel like you're soothing your own inner child. You become the emotional support friend, not because you wanted to. You kind of just fell into it. You were trained to become it. And while that is a nice thing to be, here's the thing. In doing all of this, you forgot what it's like to ask for help because you don't want to feel that feeling of rejection, that feeling of people not being able to show up for you in the ways you need them to. So you just don't ask for help at all. You shut yourself off from it. Here's the thing. You deserve to ask for help too. Because growing up, you were raised to think that your needs are inconvenient. rare interruptions. You should just be grateful for everything that's been given to you. This behavior for girls is very common in South Asian households, and I'm sure in many other immigrant households too. You're taught to be the strong one. So you become the strong one, the one who never asks for help. But the strong one, the strong person, the strong friend often ends up becoming the invisible one because everyone thinks you've got it. Like you've got your life together. So no one really checks in on you. So it becomes a vicious cycle. No one's checking in on you and you feel scared to ask for help. Do you see what I'm talking about? Alright girlie, you made it to the very end of the video because you want to know how to open up yourself to receiving love, to receiving help, because at the end of the day, you deserve to receive those things too. It's amazing that you're that person for others, you're always giving and giving, but here's the thing, there has to be some sort of balance, because if all you do is only give and give and give, you may not realize it now, but you're gonna have resentment built up. Over time, you're gonna feel even more resentful, because if you keep pouring from your cup and if you never receive anything, what kind of people do you think you're gonna attract in your life? If all you do is give and give and give and don't receive anything, what kind of people are you going to attract into your life over time? I know narcissists love people that only give and give and give. Here's the thing. After years of not accepting help, after years of not asking for help, it's going to feel weird asking for it because you're scared of being vulnerable in that way. You're scared of feeling that disappointment feeling, that disappointed feeling of when people cannot show up for you in the ways you need them to. But here's the thing. You can heal that and you can't let go of that rage. Because at the end of the day, if no one's told you this yet, you're an adult now. So that means you're responsible for your own trauma, your own emotional intelligence. Whatever happened to you, yes, it sucks, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to work through it. And here's the thing, you're the only one in the world who can work through it. No one can do that work for you. And that is a good thing because that means that you're in control of how you're going to end up feeling and how you're going to end up creating your life. That's in your hands. So if no one's told you this directly, then let me tell you this to you. You deserve to be held too. You deserve to be held in the same ways you hold people, in the same ways you hold space for others. You deserve that space too. That inner voice in your head that's saying you aren't worthy, don't listen to it. Don't give it that power. Because at the end of the day, you are in control of your thoughts. Whether you like to believe it or not, a majority of it is in your control. And reframe what it means to be the strong person, because the strong person is not the person who never asks for help. The strong person is the person who's okay to be vulnerable enough to ask for help. The strong person is the one who's okay to be vulnerable, because vulnerability takes strength. It's easy to brush over those feelings. What's not easy, what takes strength, what's actually a strong thing to do is to sit with those uncomfortable feelings and try to move past it. Reframe what it means to be strong. You're allowed to need and want softness too. And know that when you start to act like the person who's okay with receiving love, you start to attract those kinds of people. You start to attract the kinds of people who want to be there for you in that way, because you're creating the environment. You're doing the work. Because think of it this way. If you create a beautiful garden, butterflies are naturally going to appear there because you've created the environment for them. You've created it for them to thrive. So if you create a beautiful environment, a beautiful garden within you, you're gonna have beautiful people come to you as well. You're gonna attract that kind of beauty in your life as well. If all you're gonna be is hard and never accept any kind of love, and all you wanna do is give and give and give with no balance, all I need you to do is remember that if you overwater a plant, that plant is going to die. It all comes down to balance. It all comes down to what are we creating in our inner world? What kind of garden are you creating? Create a beautiful, healthy garden and attract beautiful, healthy people in it. Because when you create a beautiful garden, you don't have to force butterflies to come to you. They come to you naturally. You attract it. And I want you to remember that. Alright, girlies, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment down below your favorite part of today's video. Subscribe if you aren't already. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
You're gone now. Will you come